with Joe Samuelman of North Andover, the Eagle Tribune Thursday Football Show Defensive Player of the Week. Joe, pretty sweet. Pick 27 seconds left to save the win as Lawrence is marching in and potentially knock you right out of the playoffs. So take us through that play last week.
Well, you know, the game clock was winding down. I think it was about 30 seconds left on the game clock, and I think Chris Miller got a nice hit on the quarterback, and it took a little off it, and I just stepped in front of the ball, and the rest is history.
How much does the tight end background come in? You see a lot of guys, and every time they drop it on defense, they say, well, that's why he's playing defense. And how much does it pay off to have that offensive background where you catch it instead of dropping it?
Yeah, no, it helps. It definitely helps, because on defense you plan to do what the offense does, and having a defensive mind helps a lot on offense too. 2 picks
last week. How many picks on the season?
That's 2.
Okay.
Picks, yeah.
What do it mean to get 2 picks? You know, linebacker's dream.
It's really special. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than an interception, or either that or a touchdown. But they're both really good.
Tough question. Would you rather be known as the Merrimack Valley Conference's best linebacker or the greatest 4th-string running back in New England high school football history?
That's a good question. I would have to say linebacker.
What's it been like as the former tight end pushed into running back, as Juka has had injuries, Deshaun's had major injuries, Ryan's had major injuries, and you're coming through like an all-pro at running back as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's really the next man up. I mean, we've had injuries, but we faced adversity all season, and I just had to step in there and do my job.
If anybody told you prior to the season that you would be an all-scholastic caliber running back this year, what would you have said?
Well, you know, that's what I strive for, to be the best player I can possibly be. And if it's all-scholastic, great, but I just keep striving to be better.
Do you have a background as a running back?
I played a little bit in Pop Warner, I would say, and in boosters.
Okay. Huge challenge this week, Joe, as the playoffs kick off. You get undefeated Westford, and that means big bad Connor Dagenhart, 6'5", junior. A lot of big-time schools sniffing around. This kid's got the goods. What are your thoughts on Connor?
Yeah, no, he's a great player. We've watched some film on him, and they really like to pass, and they have really good wide receivers too, and he's a really good athlete, so we'll have our hands full.
At the high school level, do you do much scouting on a kid like that? As coach just give you a few plays and here's what you got to do, or do you have a little bit of knowledge of a kid like Connor?
I mean, we do study some tendencies on him, and definitely game plan for some of those, and we watch film week in and week out, and you know, study film and learn our plays and learn our assignments on defense and just game plan.
4-3 versus 6-0. Can the Knights pull the upset off?
I think so, yeah.
And why do you think so?
I don't know. We kind of wish we got a higher seed, but we're not complaining. We're looking for an upset.
And, how do you think playing in the Merrimack Valley Conference sets you up for some of these playoff matchups versus the Westfords of the world?
You know, the Merrimack Valley Conference is one of the best in the league, so we play some of the best opponents in the state, and so that really sets us up for good competition and a good run in the playoffs.
Good luck to Joe Samuelman, jack of all trades, North Andover High School. With Eagle Tribune Thursday Football Show Offensive Player of the Week, Charles Sabanda, the ultra-dynamic running back for Salem High School. Charles, coming up another huge game, 180 yards, 4 TDs, just 14 carries. What was last week like for you?
Oh, it was fun. Played against Portsmouth. You know, 2 weeks ago we had our senior night. We came out to play Merrimack, and then we had another big game, and it was against Portsmouth, and I did the job, you know.
What did it mean, Charles, to clinch that first playoff berth since the 2011 season?
I felt great. I mean, our team is ready to go. We got London Day this week, and we got our playoff game coming up, so we're ready to go. We're working hard right now.
You mentioned Londonderry, Charles. Did you play Londonderry last year?
Yeah, I played Londonderry last year.
How did that game go, Charles, last year?
Tough game. I mean, it came down to the wire.
Not so well.
Just kidding you a little bit, Charles. Did that stick in the craw? Is that ancient history, or is that one still hurt? That cost you a playoff berth with one of the most controversial games in New Hampshire?
It still hurts. I mean, we're playing them this year, and I'm pretty sure we'll get them back this year. Don't worry.
Does that keep you fired up for a game that probably doesn't mean too much, where you've already clinched the playoff berth?
No, it means a lot to me. I mean, it's all of our seniors' last game of the season, you know. It means a lot to us, so we're ready to take it on.
Nice possible personal milestone. Salem's known for great running backs, Jerkson Frederick, Jason Martinez, the kid from Mar, so I can't think of all the great running backs in the recent past, and you could hit the 1,000-yard barrier. I think you need 110. What would that mean to hit 1,000 for you?
It would feel great. I mean, becoming part of those running back groups, I mean, it would feel a lot. I feel like I've accomplished a lot in Salem, and I'll take it on this year. Feels good.
Did you admire those kids when you were young, Charles? You had the 1-2 punch. Who's the kid from Marist that's killing me, Charles?
Max Jakes.
There you go, Max. Sorry, one of the all-time greats, and I can't think of his name. Alzheimer's, I guess. Were you watching them as a 7th grade, 8th grader, two of the greatest backs in area history?
I went to a couple football games, and I watched Max and Dre, and they did tremendously great over there. I mean, I used to watch them. Dre, he would get the ball, probably a 60-yard run, he's gone. Or Max gets the ball, 80-yard run, he's gone, you know.
Did you
cherish those moments, you know?
Did you try to emulate either of them, Charles?
Just work hard.
Those guys were known for their work ethic. How are you holding up? 5'10", 165 is not the biggest dude in the world. These guys are tough out there in the gridiron. How's the health?
Oh, just keep eating right, keep working out, and you play these guys and you just hit big dudes. And I mean, if you hit big dudes, you gotta have the power to hit them back. You know what I'm saying?
How have you been able to average 9.6 yards a carry? That might be number one in the entire state. That's a very high average per carry. How does one pull that off?
When you get the ball, you just keep your feet moving. That's it. That's the key right there.
When you get in the open field, what's the key to getting making a 9-yard run, a 59-yard touchdown run?
Just when you see the open field, just run. Don't even think about who's near you. Just run to the end zone. You know.
What's been the highlights of your season thus far, Charles?
I think last week when I had my big run, probably the biggest one. I mean, I had a big one against Merrimack, and then I got called back because they thought somebody else had the ball. So I think last week was a big one.
Maybe we'll have a couple bigger highlights in the weeks to come as they pursue a state title in Salem, New Hampshire.